Hello, friends. Today's story is called A Wise King. This story from the Bible is about a very wise king who came after King David. King David died, and his son Solomon became the new king of Israel. One night, King Solomon heard God speak to him, saying, "Ask me for anything at all, and I will give it to you." When he woke up, it was a dream. Solomon prayed and asked God for wisdom to rule the people. He said, "I don't know how to be a good king. Show me how to know what is right and what is wrong when people need my help." "Because you did not ask for something for yourself," God said, "I will make you wise like no other king ever." So God made Solomon the wisest king who ever lived. "Because you didn't ask for riches," God said, "I will also make you a very rich man." And God blessed King Solomon. Many people in Israel had problems and arguments with others. They would ask King Solomon to decide who was right. Solomon needed God's help to be wise. When people argued and each thought the other person was wrong, they would tell King Solomon, and he always had an answer that was right, fair, and wise. One day, two mothers came to King Solomon. They lived together, each with their newborn baby. But one baby had died, and its mother switched it for the baby who was still alive, pretending it was hers, and she wouldn't give it back to its real mother. The mothers kept arguing, so they went to see King Solomon. The king had a clever idea. "Give the mothers half the baby each," he said. You see, he knew the real mother would save her own child. The first woman wanted them to have half a baby each. But the real mother of the baby cried, "Don't hurt my baby. She can have him." Then the king knew who was the real mother, and she got her baby back. King Solomon was a man of peace and didn't fight wars like his father, King David. King David had wanted to build a temple for God, but God said, "My temple will be built by a king of peace." King Solomon used the gold and silver his father had stored up from cities he had captured to build a beautiful big temple in Jerusalem. People from faraway countries heard how rich and wise King Solomon was, and that he knew what was right and what was wrong. They came to hear the wise words God gave him and to see the beautiful temple at Jerusalem. Wow! Wouldn't you like to be as wise as King Solomon? I sure would. Here are some things to remember this week. First, one prayer changed Solomon's life. Solomon asked for something of great value in his prayer, wisdom, and it changed his life. Remember that you can pray to God anytime, too, for help, or comfort, or healing. God always hears our prayers, just like he heard King Solomon's. And number 2, so Solomon was a wise king because God gave him the wisdom he asked for. But do you know who is even wiser than Solomon? That's right, God is. There is no problem too big and no problem too small that God can't solve. You just have to ask him to help you. Here is our verse for the week. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. James 1, verse 5.